we have Mike here. And Mike, what kind of Ferrari is this?
This is a F8 Tributo.
F8 Tributo. It's immaculate.
Thank
It's
you.
beautiful.
I put my fire extinguishers in here.
Look at this. Ferrari branded. Love it. Even the key's beautiful. I noticed that. Like, Ferrari has the coolest keys.
All race prepped. I got to put a harness bar in the back and a 5-point harness in here so we can be safe and not attempt to do anything silly. You know, bad things happen when you're going fast, and they happen really fast, so, as they say.
I like that phrase. If you don't mind me asking, like, what on earth do you do for a living to have this kind of car?
I'm retired now.
Okay, what did you do?
I did sell industrial equipment, welding machines and equipment to the manufacturing world. 36 years I was in business with my brother. So we retired and sold it in 2015 and just kind of fill our time doing stuff, enjoying life.
Did you ever think you'd be able to drive a Ferrari when you were a kid?
Hey, I just wanted to eat every day. Gee whiz, I worked cattle,
Yeah.
doing cowboy work when I was in my early 20s on the weekends just to put food in the little shack that my brother and I lived in. We just worked really hard. We were there 36 years, and people say, how'd you do that? And I said, we took 2 one-week vacations in 36 years. I took a week off when I got married, and I took a week off when my daughter graduated from high school.
Was there also an element of belief, though?
There was, you had to make it, because if you didn't, you were in big trouble.
So trial by fire was your route, so to speak?
Yeah, we were really young. We were only like in our early 20s. And yeah, we lived in a little 2-room concrete house that had holes in the wall. It was pretty crazy.
Obviously, we got working hard. What other sort of deep life philosophies do you have?
I started working when I was 12 in a flea market. Every Saturday and Sunday, I started working selling tools for my dad. So I learned how to sell at a very young age and just kept on going. Learn how to converse with people. When you're that young, you better mature fast because you're talking to a lot of men that are 3 times older than you. It makes a lot of difference. Good upbringing, respect, diligence, good morals, that type of thing. All those things come into play in life.
How do you believe that the world works?
Ooh, I'm not sure the world is working right now. Man, it just seems like everybody seems to be wanting to be entitled. It seems like morals and ethics are in limited supply. I could be wrong, and I hope I am wrong. There's a lack of respect for just almost everything, it seems like. There's a lack of respect for elders. There's a lack of respect for law. There's a lack of respect for, common sense, it seems like. You can't have a difference of opinion without jumping into some sort of argument. You don't learn anything if you don't converse. You have to carry on a conversation and look at different points of view and acknowledge that, hey, I could be wrong on this idea.
One thing I sensed from you when you started talking to me was like you have a sense of peace. How do you have like a calm, light-hearted demeanor?
Well, thanks. Does anger get you anywhere? It creates anxiety, and ultimately it's just hard on your mental health. You can't walk around being angry at people or institutions or anything all the time. It doesn't benefit you as a person, and it surely doesn't help your soul. I think there's a lot of things that people should do that they probably don't. I'm a religious guy. I think we really should get back to religion and doing what's right rather than taking advantage of every situation. I think it'd be better if everybody was a winner. Everybody needs to have some sense of well-being and purpose in life, no matter what it is.
Where did you find that sense of well-being and purpose for yourself?
I don't know, maybe from my mother.
Okay, how so?
I couldn't tell you, just I was brought up that way. We were brought up by Depression-era parents that didn't have anything growing up. You got to appreciate what you have, and you have to work for what you have. If you expect somebody to give you something, that's not going to happen.
When you say, back to the point about religion and ethics, can you expand a little bit more upon that? What does that mean to you, or how do you think others can benefit, or how does that inform your sense of how the world works and the way to operate?
You got really deep on me.
That's what the show's about, if you're down to go there.
I think a religious belief, it's also a moral belief. If you believe in God, I happen to be a Christian, there's more structure. I think you learn structure, you learn respect, you learn the difference between good and evil. I don't know, I never really thought about that like that. You just try to treat people the way you want to be treated. There's some things going on out there I just don't understand, and quite honestly don't know how we got to where we are in some of these situations that the world is in.
I think in any aspect of religion or any belief related to that, there's two sides of the coin. And one is kind of the side of Mother Teresa. I swear off material possessions, I sacrifice all that. And then there's the other side where there's more than enough for everyone. So me having a lot doesn't take away from others. How would you tell maybe people that are more on the sacrificial side of, oh, it is not spiritual to want nice things?
Well, I'm not a preacher.
I just want to hear your life philosophy.
I'm not a preacher and I can't judge. And it's not up for me to make those decisions for those individuals. If they want to believe what they want to believe, that's fine.
Let me actually clarify. Let's say they really do want nice things, but they don't feel that that is in line with spirituality or religion. They are operating that someone has to win and someone has to lose. So with that lens, let's say they really want the nice things. What advice would you give to them that they're deserving of those nice things?
I think if they work for it and they come about that honestly, then they deserve it. There's nothing worse in life than ill-gotten gains. I think ill-gotten gain is deplorable.
As much as you can earn with a sense of morality and maybe like win-win kind of deals.
Yeah, I mean, you know, what's wrong with that? I have no problem with people having nice things, people making money. I think that everyone has the ability. I personally believe that everybody has the ability to better themselves. Some people, it's harder. A lot of times it's honestly, it's just kind of the luck of the draw. It's where you are and who you know and how you got there and how you're treated and how you treat other people. There's any kind there's all kinds of situations where things come into play, and most of the time we don't even know they're in play because we don't know the backstory of that person you're talking to is thinking. They could have had a horrible week and you just don't even know. And I never finished college. I went straight to work. If anybody's watching your YouTube channel, they'll probably go, what a kook that guy is. And they're entitled to think that.
What kind of mindset tricks do you have outside of working hard, correctly gotten gains, believing in something that is beneficial, loving, what have you? How do you give yourself permission to maybe dream big or have big goals?
I think you ought to dream all the time. I think you ought to dream big. It's a lot better to dream big than dream little. If you can achieve the little, you undercut yourself. You need to dream big and go for everything you can as far as your capacity or your ability to do that. Is it life based on hope and what we can do for ourselves and make ourselves a better person in so many different ways? Not just spiritually and monetarily, associating with the right people. Don't fall into traps.
How do people hold on to hope and their dreams when fear inevitably crawls in? How do we lean towards that way rather than succumbing to fear?
I can't tell you how to hold on to it. I can tell you never let it go. Fear is always present. Anxiety is always a possibility. The biggest problem I see with that is you never know what the other person's feeling because you can't see their mental state. If that person could have the biggest smile and the brightest eyes and be just terrified with anxiety, and you really can't tell. So always have hope if you can, because fear at some point in time is inevitable.
Any final things that you have learned that feel unequivocally true for you that you can speak to with your experience?
I think respect for mankind, all people, and good morals. Morals and respect. If you got those two, you're going to kind of cover everything else you need to know. That's just the way I kind of feel about it.
That's a great way to wrap it. Thanks so much, Mike, for your time. All right, man. Nice to meet you. Tell us your name.
I am Irving Besa.
And tell us what kind of ridiculous car you drive.
I got a Ferrari California 2014.
Do you mind if I ask what you do for a living?
I'm an engineer, computer design. and I also have a business.
What's the business?
I got a home health business, real estate. Just keep doing as much as I can.
What advice do you have for people who want to drive an awesome car like yours one day?
It's a dream, but it can happen.
What would you say to people who are like, I'm not worthy of having a really awesome car, a really awesome house, or whatever? I feel like that's what a lot of people struggle with is not feeling worthy of having super awesome stuff. Has that something you've resolved in yourself, or what would you say to those people?
I think you can have anything you want, but you have that balance. You can't have everything. You got to pick something, a few things that you dream of. For instance, you can't have these cars and then you want to travel around the world all the time. You know, you got to kind of balance it. Once you get a good balance, you can achieve anything you want. There's the sacrifice part, and then there's the, all right, this is what I really want. I got to go for it, right?
What are some of your like rules for life, or that you understand the way the world works? What would you say?
I think you need people. Iron sharpens iron. So you need people that you can sort of work with, people that you can motivate each other, right? I know it's the bad stuff that make the news and everything, but there's a lot of good people in the world. You want to see somebody that's driving towards the same goal that you have, and then you just keep working, right? So I think that's important. There is no substitute for working hard. People do get lucky, you get some stuff, but that would be temporary. But to get something for a long time, you need to work hard and you need to get good at something.
And you got good at, you said engineering. What kind specifically?
Computer engineering, so design computers.
Like servers?
Yeah, servers, yeah.
There's so many people that do what you do that did not do as well as you. So how'd you get really good at that?
Well, it's really important though that you track your spending. You will see that most people do have close to $1 million passing through their hands, right? I think it's important to have an idea of what you're investing into. Like I know a lot of people jump on crypto. I never did. I don't invest in something I don't completely understand.
That's Richest Man in Babylon. Is that what you're referencing?
Right.
That book?
Yes. And personality matters. So certain investment would be good for someone else, but it's not good for you. So you need to look at all of that and then go after the things that sort of suit your lifestyle, things that you can handle temperamentally.
Obviously, you drive a really awesome car. While that car might seem kind of outlandish or extravagant, you're a very down-to-earth person. You're talking about budgeting and things like that. How does one balance their dreams with also day-to-day practicality? Because that's what I hear from you.
Right. Everybody got to have a dream because it makes life worth living. But you also have to kind of look at the reality of things. You see somebody get on YouTube and before you know it, it's like, oh yeah, that person got rich overnight. But you really need to kind of understand what the person is providing. You're not just going to get lucky through life, right? You have to be good at something. If you're a YouTuber, your content that you're providing, you got to bring meaning to people if you want it to be long lasting. Whether it's the computer design, the systems, we don't go and just design whatever cool stuff. We actually look into design something that will bring value. So you have to kind of look at what, as a person, I'm contributing to this society. So what can I bring of value? How can I have you come to me? I'm doing something that you like, or I'm doing something that is important to you.
Did you always dream of having like a supercar?
Yeah, but to tell you the truth, it happened earlier than I thought. I thought I would be like this old dude, well over 60 before it happened.
Right.
So it happened earlier than I thought.
But you knew from an early age it would happen? Or did you just think, or did you hope?
It was more hope, yeah, it was more hope.
Where are you from?
Liberia.
Liberia, okay.
Growing up in Africa, living in the Bronx, you always kind of dream, but you didn't know exactly what you're going after.
And you never lost hope?
Never lost hope. You know, you kind of keep going for it.
How'd you never lose hope?
You know, prayer. I pray a lot. The friends you pick is important. if somebody doesn't add to my life, I don't deal with that negativity. I'm going after somebody too that's like dreaming like me, and I want to go after something. That's very important in life. So that's how you don't lose hope.
I love it. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with me.
Yep, a pleasure.
All right, that was a freaking blast. I had such a good time at this car meetup yesterday that I went to here in Austin. There were a few things that surprised me in particular. I really appreciated how friendly everyone was in terms of the car owners. Obviously, context matters. This was a car meetup. It wasn't like I just stopped random people on the street that had fancy cars and asked to talk to them. It wasn't like that. So context matters when talking to people. That's just obvious. I thought it was an interesting thing where this wasn't some case or argument to have a religion or anything like that. That was a mere coincidence that both those guys that I interviewed mentioned that. But I guess the big takeaway is an element of like giving yourself permission to dream and have high hopes for whatever it is that you do want. These guys happen to want to accrue a good amount of wealth and have awesome cars and things like that. And we all have our own definitions of success, and that can't be argued with. But they gave themselves permission to dream and had a sense of hope or an inherent worthiness. And I think religion for them was a valuable mechanism to do that. I thought that was really insightful. I feel like nowadays we're so much more hyper aware of all the negative that we just think that everything is going to shit. And I don't think that that is an accurate representation of what life is. I really appreciated and noticed how down to earth everyone was. I spoke with a bunch of other people that owned these supercars that I didn't feature in this interview video specifically. And everyone was really down to earth and really welcoming. I was talking with them about life type things. I wasn't asking them about their car. I think it's a really common narrative now where it's along the lines of people are assuming that like rich people are evil or money is bad or wealth is bad, things like that. I just think that's a silly belief. And the more I speak with different people that do have a good amount of financial wealth, they've been really kind, they've been welcoming. And so it's just further proof that wealth is just another characteristic, that it is not an accurate measure of someone's character or morality, just like any other type of attribute someone might have or possess. Everyone I spoke with that day, every single person was self-made. Mike built and sold a company with his brother, and there was Irving, who got really proficient at a very complicated technical skill set, as well as starting his own businesses. Another guy was the first engineering employee at a startup that went public. Another guy sold his architecture firm that he created. So it was all self-made people. That really fascinated me. I don't know. I guess if someone wasn't self-made, if they inherited a lot of money, I guess they probably would feel more ashamed to mention that. But I didn't meet anyone that even seemed that way. Every one of these people I consider to be self-made as someone can be. But that was an observation that really intrigued me. Thanks so much for watching this video. I got some more things cooking up. Like and subscribe, and we'll see where it goes. Thanks for watching.